IEEE Computer's special issue on the web the next 25 years is a great opportunity to contemplate and define the course of research in the exciting field of the web. So, how will the web transform to change our lives? In our paper titled The Web That Dissipates Beyond the World, we try to answer this question and provide some research directions to help shape up the web for the future. We examine some of the enabling factors, trends, and requirements that can make our predictions come true. Applications that run on the web give it its character. The underlying infrastructure shapes up the applications. We therefore take a wholesome, conflated view of the web when we discuss the future of the web in our paper. The web evolved from being an interconnection of static information sources to a programmable interconnection of static and dynamic information, people, communities, things, and soon planets. So this evolution is a testimony to the amount of research focus that the web has received over the last 2 decades and will continue to receive. During the first decade, as you would have seen, from 1990 to 2000, the web was mostly perceived as linking various clickable information sources. The next decade, from 2000 to 2010, saw the web evolve into connecting communities and individuals. The current decade, from 2010 and 2020, is likely to ride on the Web of Things wave. For the next decade, from 2020 onwards, we foresee major developments underway for an interplanetary web that links across the planets. Developments in augmented reality, machine learning, and natural language processing will transform the web into a medium that dissipates into our social fabric seamlessly. For ubiquitous use, the web should speak the language of the user and communicate in non-conventional ways that are most suited to the user. There are multiple zettabytes of data on the web locked up today in suboptimal structures. An important project would be to construct a knowledge base from that data. An appropriate representation of such knowledge could help build web applications that can reason and draw conclusions. One important aspect that is missing today in the web is that the real world is characterized by uncertainty. The web so far has been oblivious to this fact. Reasoning under uncertain circumstances is an important research goal to take the web to the next step in its evolution. The number of devices connected on the internet today already exceeds the world population. Cisco predicts that by 2020, there will be 50 billion things connected on the internet. The things include not only computers and smartphones, but common things in daily use like cars, washing machines, and even animals like cattle. The synergy that the interconnection of these things brings about is only possible when the services the things provide are made accessible over the web protocols. We already have a number of applications based on such web of things, ranging from cargo tracking to building smart cities today. Speaking of technical advances, more than a year ago, brain-to-brain communication was successfully demonstrated. So if human brains can communicate with microchips embedded in them, they can potentially become yet another thing in the web of things. Human brains can have an IP address, communicate with other human brains and machines directly, and result in limitless man-machine synergy. So the age of the machine-augmented mind and the web-enabled brain may not be too far in that sense. Another promising trend is that the last decade has seen considerable research in interplanetary internet and delay-tolerant networks. Efforts are being made to extend the internet across planets. There is enormous amount of hardware deployed in the outer space and on other planets to analyze the conditions there and help with other functions. Exposing their functionality over the web protocols and building applications to harness that hardware helps us take the web to the next level, transforming it into the interplanetary web. With the pervasive reach of the web, applications, particularly with a humanitarian perspective, which can help globally, will have to be developed and made accessible, paving way to a humanitarian web. As we have seen recently, the web turned into a much more powerful medium than the press. The development was sufficient enough for governments to rein in control over the content on the web. With all the advances in the evolution of the web in the next 25 years, the omnipresent web could become many times more powerful. So governments will naturally try to gain as much control over it as citizens would tolerate. Politics always had and will have an upper hand over technology. It is quite possible that the likes of virtual private networks today for corporations could be implemented across the countries to guard and better regulate web traffic. It is also quite possible that technological policies governing the web, such as the likes of net neutrality today for the internet, could become a major differentiator in the election agendas in future. And in view of the criticality of the use of the web, security of what's on the web should be of utmost importance. Attacks could become much more sophisticated and threats much more involved. Even hardware is not exempt. Trojan horses can be implanted in devices. Any breach could be a disaster and even fatal. Privacy will also be of major concern. Encryption sounds like a silver bullet to all these problems, but comes with its own trade-offs. For these and other trends and the requirements that ensue from them to evolve the future web, we invite you to read our paper in the May 2015 special issue of IEEE Computer. Do read the paper. Thank you.